He put down the silver fork. His hand was shaking. For the first time in 12 years, Leo Park cried over a bowl of soup. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back to where it all started, 3 weeks before that moment, back when Leo didn't believe in soul food, second chances, or love at first bite. Leo Park was the kind of man people whispered about in elevators. At 36, he'd built Nexian Global into a tech empire worth $8 billion. He worked 16-hour days. He slept 4 hours a night. And he hadn't smiled, I mean really smiled, since his mother died. Food, to Leo, it was fuel, protein shakes, whatever kept him working. But his board had other ideas. You need a corporate chef, his COO said. Someone who can handle executive dinners. You can't keep serving investors catered sandwiches, Leo. It's cold. Leo didn't care about the sandwiches, but he did care about losing deals because his presentations felt empty. So he agreed. The auditions started on a Tuesday. They sent him the best, Michelin-starred chefs from Paris and Tokyo. Each one walked into his private kitchen like they were doing him a favor. They prepared elaborate dishes, foam-infused fish, gold leaf garnish, and tiny portions. Leo tasted each one, chewed slowly, put down his fork. No. His assistant, Marcus, was losing his mind. Leo, that last guy has 3 Michelin stars. What's wrong with the food? Leo stared at the plate. It was beautiful, technical, but it was dead. It has no soul, he said flatly. Soul? Since when do you care about soul? Leo didn't answer. He didn't know how to explain that every bite felt empty. Next candidate, he said. That's when Elena Reyes walked in. She was 40 minutes late. She was a stunning Afro-Korean woman, her hair in a beautiful puff, wearing a faded apron over her jeans. She had a canvas bag that smelled like ginger, peppers, and home. Marcus looked horrified. You're late, and you're the candidate? Traffic, Elena said, not apologizing. She dropped her bag on the high-end marble counter. My diner's stove broke, so I prepped this in my neighbor's kitchen. Leo looked up from his laptop. When Elena walked in, something shifted. She wasn't nervous, she was real. What are you making? Leo asked. Elena smiled. A fusion of my 2 worlds. It's my mother's Nigerian egusi, but refined with Korean beef broth and spices. It's what I call the bridge. Marcus laughed. You're auditioning for a CEO with soup? Elena just shrugged. You wanted heart? Well, this is it. Leo closed his laptop. For the next 30 minutes, he watched her work. She didn't use a measuring cup, no timers. She just knew. A handful of ground melon seeds here, a pinch of Korean chili flakes there. She tasted the broth with a wooden spoon, added a squeeze of lime, and hummed a song he didn't recognize. The kitchen filled with steam. The smell, the smell. It was deep, nutty, and spicy. It was like the room was finally waking up. When she finally set the bowl in front of him, she didn't say a word. She just crossed her arms and waited. Leo looked down. Golden, rich, and steaming. He picked up the spoon. He took one sip, and the world stopped. It wasn't just the taste, it was the memory. He was a little boy again, sitting at his mother's table. She used to tell him that food was a bridge between the ancestors and the future. He could see her face, the way she laughed. And then she was gone again. Leo put down the spoon. His hand was shaking. Elena was watching him. You okay? He didn't trust his voice. He just nodded. It's good, he finally said. It was the biggest lie he'd ever told. It wasn't good. It was life-changing. You're hired, he whispered. That's when the trouble started. Leo's sister, Victoria, was furious. You hired an Afro-Korean diner cook? Leo, we have investors flying in from Singapore. This is embarrassing. The board agreed. She's not corporate material, they said. But Leo didn't care. For the first time in years, he felt alive, and he wasn't letting that feeling go. Elena started on Monday. She set up in the executive kitchen, but Victoria was already planning. On the night of the biggest investor dinner, Elena arrived to find her special spices missing. The ovens had been turned off. Her prep station was a complete mess. Marcus pulled her aside. Victoria's trying to sabotage you. She wants you to fail, so Leo has to fire you. Elena's jaw tightened. She clearly doesn't know who she's dealing with. She improvised. No spices? She used the executive pantry's high-end soy sauce and blended it with African peppers she kept in her purse. She made a spicy, slow-seared beef that made the entire 32nd floor smell like a dream. The investors were speechless. They had never tasted anything so bold. But Leo wasn't looking at the investors. He was looking at Elena. He saw her exhaustion. He saw her strength. After everyone left, Leo found Elena in the dark kitchen. She was sitting on a stool, eating leftovers from a plastic container. "You were amazing tonight," he said softly. She smiled tiredly. "Your sister is a piece of work," she laughed. "She's just scared of change, Elena." They sat in silence. Then Leo opened up. "My mother died before I could say thank you for everything. Your food, it's the only time I've felt her since she left." Elena didn't say anything. She just got up, heated a small bowl of her bridge soup, and set it in front of him. "Eat," she said. This time, he didn't fight the tears. He just sat there, a billionaire CEO, crying over a bowl of soup while Elena held his hand. 3 months later, Leo called Elena into his office. He looked nervous. "The chef position, I designed it just to keep you near me." "It sounds crazy, I know." Elena laughed. "You created a fake job for me?" "It wasn't fake, but I don't want you as my chef anymore. I want you as my partner, in everything." He handed her a small box. Inside was a recipe book from his mother and a key to a new restaurant space. "Build your dream, Elena, with me." Today, Elena is the chief culinary officer and Leo's wife. Every night they share a bowl of soup, and every night he remembers that sometimes love really does taste like home.